So this paper examines the India climate change adaptation mitigation strategies, evaluates their effectiveness and explores challenges and opportunities for achieving climate resilience and sustainable development. Let's move to the statement of the problem. So India is facing increasingly adverse effect of the climate change due to, we all know that, so its unique geographical and socioeconomic conditions. The dual necessity of adapting immediate climate impacts while mitigating long-term greenhouse gas emission adds complexity to India's climate governance. So there is an urgent need to assess strength, the strategies for both adaptation and mitigation, and there is need to ensure that vulnerable communities and ecosystems are protected and sustainable development goals are achieved. So next objective of this study. So I framed four objectives. So the first one is to investigate the key impacts of climate change on India's agriculture. So next one is to analyze the present adaptation strategies executed in India and evaluated their efficiency in mitigating climate vulnerability. The third one is to find out gaps and challenges in policy implementation related to climate change strategies, including financial resources, public consciousness, and technological capacity. And fourth one is to promote recommendations and strategies for augmenting India's resilience and advancing sustainable development via incorporated adaptation mitigation techniques. So next one is methodological framework. The study basically a descriptive and analytical research design. So the research primarily relies on the secondary data. The secondary data sources are government reports, policy documents, which are published, and the World Bank, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So the study examines the quantitative analysis by adopting regression analysis and ANOVA. So next move to the analysis discussion part. So the table, this is the regression analysis table, which shows the relationship between the average mean surface air temperature in India with relation to the CO2 emission per capita and GDP annual growth rate. Here, actually, I framed the average mean surface air temperature as an dependent variable, and CO2 emission and GDP annual growth rate is a independent variable. So this table shows that the R value is 0.823, which means 82% of the there is a relationship between this average mean surface here with the CO2 emission and GDP annual growth rate. And the R square is 0.677, which means 67% of these models fit. And then standard error is 0.23802. So here I already said that GDP annual growth rate and CO2 emission per person as the predictors, which means independent variable. And then move to the another table. Oh, it is an ANOVA analysis for the average mean surface air temperature in India with relation to the CO2 emission per capita and GDP annual growth rate. So here the sum of square regression is 1.187 and mean square value is 0.593, and here the significance is 0.004, which is less than 0.005. So here it is shown that there is a significant relationship between the average mean surface air temperature in India and the CO2 emission per capita and GDP annual growth rate. So next move to the image 1, which shows the evolving seasonal cycle and embedded variability average mean surface air temperature. So this image clearly shows us the average surface air temperature from the year of 1951 to 62 current climatology 1991 to 2020. So here the year 2011 to 2020 is the peak average mean surface air temperature. We already know that which is represented in blue color point. And during the month of May and June is the highly peak average mean surface air temperature, and the current temperature zone as the which is in the trend line shows a cement color points. So from this we can conclude that the average mean surface air temperature was increasing trend, which means we can see that 1951 to 60 there is a minimum level, and then currently it is an high level of the average mean surface air temperature. So, and then my recommendation suggestion for climate change adaptation mitigation in India is strengthen policy enforcement. So, incorporate the climate adaptation into regional and state development plans. So, next one is enhance financial support. So, establish neighborhood climate funds to the enable communities access to funding and persuade climate resilient agriculture. Scale upward drought resistant and flood resistant crop varieties. Promote micro irrigation system, soil health programs, and crop insurance. So, increase the velocity of groundwater recharge, watershed oversight, along with collecting rainfall efforts, strengthening local water governance. Health and social protection. Spread heat mitigation strategies to areas of vulnerability in all major cities. Creative, inclusive, gender sensitive adaptation programs for underprivileged population, women and small farmers. So increase the total amount of environment friendly roofs, urban forests and energy efficient structure for a more sustainable city. So forestry and environment restoration. Carry out massive restoration of mangroves and afforestation. Promote the Green India mission by involving members of the community. Technology and development. Make investment in climate smart technologies such as capturing carbon, farming with precision, and AI-based estimation. Advocate green innovation agreements between the public and private sectors. So innovative energy and transportation performance. So reinforce the perform, achieve, trade, which is PAT, program throughout industries. Encourage the usage of electric vehicles and non-monetized modes of transportation like walking and cycling. Finally, I have concluded that in order to manage both short-term as well as long-term risk, the analysis in the study spotlights the need for balanced and incorporated approaches for both adaptation mitigation efforts. In order to decrease vulnerability and increase communities and ecosystems' ability to adapt to changing environmental conditions, mitigation approach like climate resilient agriculture practices, sustainable water resource management, better urban planning, and enhanced disaster management necessary. So thank you all.
Thank you so much for your first presentation. Dear participants, we get started on time. I was calling many people, nobody came, and we are in the serial number 13 now. So once everything completed, let me start again from 1 to 12. I will repeat. We get started the meeting by 3 o'clock. Then we have only 5 participants. So now the serial number is 13. We are moving towards 13. So we can't come back again to 1 to 12. Impossible. Since the people who are waited for a long time, they will be blamed accordingly. So it will be goes from the serial number 13. Now let me invite serial number 14, Dr. Aditya Bhatta. Aditya Bhatta sir, are you there? Aditya Bhatta sir, are you there? He is not there. Okay, serial number 15. Amarjit Singh sir is there.
Yes, sir. Aditya Bhatta is here, sir. I'm sorry, I am having some network issues. So,
Okay, Aditya Bhatta sir. Yes, now Dr. Aditya Bhatta sir, he will be presenting the paper, the topic NGOs in promotion of micro entrepreneurship and economic empowerment of rural women.
okay, sir. Sir, I think you have disabled the screen sharing mode, so I need your permission to share the screen. Sir.
Yes, now you can share, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Sir. Is it visible to you, sir?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay.
Kindly start, sir.
Yes, sir. So very good afternoon, respected chairperson of this technical session, and my fellow participants. Myself, Dr. Aditya Bhatta. I'm working at Assam Downtown University Guwahati, Assam. So I'm working as an associate professor in the Department of
Sir,
Social
your
Science.
voice is not clear, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Sir, your voice is not clear. आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
Just one
आवाज
second.
तो बहुत कम है.
Am I audible now, sir?
50% audible, sir. We are. Kindly check your volume from your side now.
It is 95. Am I audible now, sir?
Yeah, yeah, talk, sir. Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you so much. So just one second. Is my slide visible, sir? Now?
Ah, yes, visible, sir.
Okay. So the paper on which I am going to present is NGOs in promotion of micro entrepreneurship and economic empowerment of rural women. So the study was conducted in the state of Assam, basically on two NGOs. One is Northeast Affected Area Development Society Needs, and one is Rural Volunteer Center (RVC). Both the organization works in disaster affected area, and the study is was conducted. To see their role in promotion of women micro entrepreneurship amongst the people of disaster affected communities in the state of Assam. So as we know, no women want to limit their lives within the four wall of house. They want equal status as well as they want to get involved in the economic activities for their economic empowerment as well as social empowerment. So, however, Indian women have to go a long way to achieve the equal rights and position because of the traditional settings that we have, the traditional setups, and also the norms and values what we have in our deep-rooted society. So, despite all these hurdles, many women have become successful in their works. These successful women have made name and wealth by themselves with their continuous hard work, competence, and willpower. So, these women have will stand tall from the rest of the crowd and are applauded for their achievement in their field. So, in this scenario, when you talk about the disaster affected communities, mostly Assam is affected by flood. So yearly two times the flood comes and it wash away everything in many communities. So the women, especially of those vulnerable communities, they face lots of issues. They are the actual victims actually. So in this scenario, many organizations works for the upliftment of those communities, especially the tribal communities located in the flood-prone areas. So the NGO plays a very significant role for the welfare of those underprivileged and weaker sections of those societies. Many times, these volunteer organizations they act like a buffer between the individual and the state. It's actually, the areas where the state government or the government is not able to work. So many organizations work in those areas for the upliftment of those societies. NGOs have been found to support rural women, especially to participate in entrepreneurial processes and also have helped in promotion and growth of their enterprises. That is according to Singh and Nine in their study conducted in 2016. According to Amin, NGOs play a very significant role in helping women in arranging finances to start their entrepreneurial activities as well. So, besides providing training and guidance, this business management NGOs promote growth of women by enhancing their self-esteem and providing them psychological support by providing them all the opportunities to get empowered. As I've said, the study was conducted based on the intervention made by two organizations. One is NEEDS and one is RVC. So Northeast Affected Area Development Society, it was registered in the year 1985. So all their activities, as I have said, is mostly located in the disaster affected communities. So their activities are broadly categorized under four categories. One is disaster risk reduction. Second is the promotion of sustainable livelihood. Third is education and child welfare. Fourth is gender and development. These are the core areas in which these organizations are working amongst the disaster affected communities. Similarly, if you talk about RVC, Rural Volunteer Center, which was established in the 1992, their activities are also in the same line with needs. They work for the promotion of appropriate technology, creating opportunities and space for learning. They work for the value addition to the traditional livelihood practices as well as encouraging policy and promoting advocacy. These are some of the areas where these organizations work. Basically, these two organizations work in the state of Assam and their interventions are mostly in the disaster affected districts. Coming to the methodology part, the objective of the study are to study the different entrepreneurial activities initiated by the NGOs for the rural women. Second is to study how the entrepreneurial activities have been able to provide them sustainable economic development. And the third is to study the role of RVC and NITS in promoting women entrepreneurship. So the research design opted for the study is a descriptive research design. Methods has been used, it's a mixed method, both quantitative and qualitative data has been used. So data collected with the help of interview schedule and few data has been used from the annual reports published by the organizations as secondary data. So as you know, the main objective is to see the entrepreneurial ventures, promoted by the NGOs amongst the women of those underprivileged and tribal communities. So they found to be engaged in different micro entrepreneurial activities. For example, most of them are engaged in vegetable farming. Piggery is very much common as they rear pigs and they sell it in the local market. On their few only they're doing vegetable farming, food processing, they very small way in a small unit they are doing, and then weaving. Of course, the tribal, as we know, tribal community they have inherent potentials of different handicraft and handloom items. So they're engaged in different weaving as well as vegetable farming activities. So these are the common source of livelihood or from or micro entrepreneurial activities. These NGOs are mainly promoting among the women of those tribal areas. So this is a kind of monthly income status of the women who are engaged in those activities. So actually, the 60 women were interviewed from the flood affected communities, mainly from two districts of Assam. So the income is like out of 60, 26 are earning between 10 to 1,000 to 2,000 in a month. So 10 are getting 2,000 to 4,000, then 4,000 to 6,000, there are 10 women, 6 to 8,000, 8 and 8,000 and above, there are 8 women. So this income is from the entrepreneurial activity mainly. It's a comparative analysis of the income, so it's a kind of pre and post. So before setting up the enterprise as well as after setting up the enterprise, what I have found among the 60 women, 19 were earning below 1,000 before setting up the or before initiating this entrepreneurial micro enterprise activity. So 1,000 to 2,000, there were 35 respondents. Six were earning between 2,000 to 4,000. So there was nobody who had monthly income more than 4,000 before the intervention of those NGOs. So after the intervention of the NGOs, now at present there are 26 women whose income is between 1 to 2,000. 10 women whose income is between 2,000 to 4,000. Another 10 who is earning between 4 to 6,000. Then 6 women are earning between 6 to 8, as well as 8 are having 8,000 to 10,000. So more than 8,000 their monthly income is. As I have, some of the major finding of the study as per the objectives. So it has been found that monthly income of the women micro entrepreneurs have been increased after setting up the enterprise. Majority of the women micro entrepreneurs are engaged in activities which are mostly related to their livelihood and culture. Means based on the resources which are locally available. The study also revealed that the respondents have been able to increase their savings after setting up their enterprises. This has given them economic stability, which ultimately is helping them to improve their economic condition. They're running in a very small way. They are facing lots of challenges. So one of the very common challenge which spoke by the entrepreneurs are the lack of regular market facilities. The study revealed the capacity building activities of the NGOs has really helped the micro entrepreneurs to practically implement their ideas in a broader way. NGOs are providing the required support to start such enterprises and also can create a linkage with the market to sell their produce. So some problems faced by the micro entrepreneurs promoted by the NGOs are like financial constraints and credit insecurity. So they are getting a very limited support from the NGOs. They are not getting any financial benefit from the banks and other financial institutions. From government also very limited support so far they have received. The state rural livelihood mission is providing some support, but it is not sufficient according to them. Second problem faced by the entrepreneurs is loss of livelihood as a due to disaster. Because as I've said, every year 2 times flood comes and wash away their all the resources. So that is a constraint or biggest challenge that these people are facing. Limited market access and marketing barrier. There is no local market available in the locality. And even though the small markets, the people's buying power is or buying capacity is not at that level, so that where they can sell all their products. So low technical and entrepreneurial skills. Even though the NGOs are doing in a very small way, so it's not continuing or in a long term. If you see it in a long term, there is a deficiency of the technical skills as well as the entrepreneurial skills. Gender and sociocultural barriers. As we know, women needs to play various roles when it comes to the family affairs, taking care of the children, elderly, cooking food, then all the household affairs and all. So somewhere they feel that they are not able to balance between these two. So that is another problem that most of the small micro entrepreneurs are facing. So what I can say, this is a very small and micro study actually. So this is a part of a kind of another project. So I'm just presenting in this conference. So from this analysis, what I have found, in the last couple of years, it has been observed that the women participation in the field of entrepreneurship is increasing in a considerable rate, but still there is a long way to go. But there is no meaning to teach them fishing, if they can't reach to the river. So we are teaching them, we are promoting them as entrepreneur, but unless and until we provide them a kind of sustainable market, or if you're not able to link them with the actual buyers, and also ultimately they will not get the actual benefit, or they're not able to sell their products in the market price. So it means that like whatever scheme government is introducing, but still those schemes are not accessible to those communities, because these communities are located very in interior places, and they are very much affected by the flood, which is a natural calamity in Assam. So NGOs can connect them with the existing facilities and schemes and help them to get the
Sir,
benefit
last 1 minute, sir.
to excel. Yeah, to excel their venture. So I am almost done. So I have come to the end of this presentation. So these are some of the references. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to present my research paper. So I'll be happy to hear your feedback as well as recommendation for my further research. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the beautiful presentation on economic empowerment of women. So, dear participants,
Sir,
if
I
there are any
am
questions to
Dr.
be asked, you
Balvinder.
can ask.
Sir, I am Dr. Balvinder, sir. I am present now
Okay.
No, sir.
due to some technical.
If there's any question,
Sir,
you can
Dr.
ask
Balvinder
now. It
Kumar.
has to go to the serial number. Now, Amraj Singh, sir. Amrajit is there?
I think, can I leave, sir?
Yes,
Wait.
sir.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Amrajit is there? Okay. P. Kavya is there?
Sir, my number is 11th.
Natarajan sir is there? Fine. Abhilasha sir is there?
Yes, sir.
Abhilasha?
Yes, sir. Abhilasha Vajpayee.
Yes, you can present now.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening
Dear
to all.
participants, we get started by 3 o'clock. That time nobody came. And this won't be fair, giving the chance to the people who are coming late according to the serial number. Impossible. Uh, why? Because no, hereafter you will follow the timeline very strictly when you go for other conferences. So let it goes to the serial number only. We won't bypass. So if you want to present, you have to wait till everyone completed, and then I will start from serial number 1 to serial number 11. Okay. This is for your kind information. Please, please cooperate that you are late. I am not late. You were late, and I have given information. Sorry, we have given information through mail also. We have information to WhatsApp also. Apart from then also, if you are not able to come to the class at right time, means I don't think so that it is a perfect one. So we can't bypass 1 to 2 or 3, 5, 7 accordingly. No, it will go according to the serial number, proper serial number. Now, Dr.
Yes,
uh,
sir.
Abhilasha Bajbai ma'am, she will be presenting the paper on climate change and social demography.
Good
Over to you,
evening to
ma'am.
all. Good evening to all. My presentation topic is climate change and social demography. The development of any nation depends on two types of resources. The first being natural resources. Natural resources are those assets bestowed upon us by nature, such as air, water, aquatic life, flora, fauna, minerals, various precious elements found beneath the earth's surface, crude oil, and so forth. These resources gifted by nature are available in finite quantity. Indeed, some have already been depleted. The very concept of sustainable development emerged with the concept of utilizing these limited natural resources. If we examine the current global landscape, a struggle characterized by aggressive conflict have begun over these natural resources. Since a long time, the intellectual class of society and its esteemed institutions have been making continuous efforts to conserve these natural resources. Similarly, the second resource is human resource. Numerous theories regarding population exist. Many of these portray population growth as detrimental to both the nation and the society. However, according to modern theories, population has come to be recognized as a form of human capital. This implies that a skilled and capable population actively contributes to the development of any nation. The study of population is called demography. When viewed within a social context, it is referred to as social demography. Various factors are responsible for human resource development, among which geographical factors are according the highest priority. The size and structure of a population, as well as trends such as population growth or decline, uh, are determined by a multitude of factors. Climate holds immense significance in these factors. Climate change exerts a profound impact on population, while warmer climate uh, tend to foster population.
Yes, ma'am. Any problem?
Uh, um, yeah, no, sir. While warmer climates tends to foster population growth, colder climates serve to keep population levels in check. Regions characterized by peasant climate conditions typically inhibit higher population densities, whereas locations with harsh climates feature significantly lower population densities and sizes. Shift in climate influences rates of fertility, migration, mortality, and morbidity, thereby altering the geographical structure of a population. The continuous rise in global temperatures has already begun to trigger changes in population composition. Natural disasters such as floods, storm, drought, and earthquakes disrupt daily life, leading to an increased rate of displacement. Adverse geographical conditions also give rise severe diseases and spawn new epidemics, which in turn hinder the development of human resources. The population plagued by diseases constitutes a matter of grave concern for any nation, as it fundamentally alters the geographical structure. In agrarian nations like India, the supply of food grains remains heavily dependent on favorable climate conditions. Adverse climate conditions compromise the capacity for both the production and storage of food grains, thereby uh, giving rise to issues such as hunger and malnutrition. Climate change also accelerates the process of urbanization, placing increased pressure on the infrastructure and basic amenities of cities. The rise in migration rates creates imbalance in the age and gender composition of the population. Consequently, the challenges faced by the elderly and women become more pronounced. Upon reflection, if climate change were to occur in a positive context, it could play a decisive role in national development. However, as it currently being observed, if climate change proceeds in a negative direction, it becomes a harbinger of crisis for both the nation and the world at large. Uh, Under these circumstances, we must focus our efforts on implementing measures designed to prevent any detrimental alterations to the climate. In reality, nature and human are linked. Indeed, humans are themselves a creation of nature. Just as nature, through its inherent characteristics influences the human body and mind, so too can the impact of human actions be observed upon nature. Due to a lack of foresight, humanity has excessively exploited nature, causing its harm in the name of technological innovation without giving any thought to the consequences. The efforts humans have undertaken to enhance their material comforts have had an adverse effect on the natural world.
Last two
One
minutes,
such
ma'am. Last 2 minutes, ma'am. It is almost 7 minutes done. At last 2 minutes.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. The efforts humans have undertaken to enhance their material comforts have had an adverse effect on the natural world. One such consequences in the constantly shifting climate, the structure integrity of any region is strictly tried to its climate conditions. Continuous climate shifts inevitably trigger he will in the rhythm of everyday life. The entire world is currently grappling with the effects of globally fluctuating temperatures. Therefore, we must engage in serious reflection and contemplation regarding the uh, critical issue. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, any questions from your side? Okay, I have some questions, ma'am. Yes, since my domain also is from social demography, and you have beautifully presented the paper on climate change and social demography. So, which theory your paper is based on, ma'am? Which theoretical perspectives you have taken, ma'am? The study comes under which theoretical perspectives, ma'am? हिंदी में बात कर दूं?
Yes, sir.
आपका स्टडी है ना, वो दूसरा थियरी से आएंगे मैम. See, all the research studies comes under based on any theoretical perspectives, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
your study based on which theoretical perspectives, ma'am? Social
सर
demography theory.
सर ये सोशल चेंज से रिलेटेड है कि कैसे जो सोशल चेंज होता है उसमें क्लाइमेट चेंज होता है वो कैसे उस पर इफेक्ट करता है सोशल चेंज को, क्योंकि सोशल चेंज में एक जो पर्सपेक्टिव है वो डेमोग्राफी भी है. कैसे
Fine.
किसी
So once it is social demography, have you ever heard about the author called Asha Bende, ma'am? Asha Bende. And yes, ma'am, no problem. Please, your paper is good. That is why I'm asking you questions. It is not about pinpointing you. Social demography, it's a big domain, and you have presented a paper in a beautiful way. Kindly refer the book of Asha Bende, ASH, Asha Bende, an Indian renowned author. And she is the one who has given a clear-cut information about social demography, population, and she has incorporated various Malthusian theories into Indian context. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
sir.
Yes, ma'am. So that
Okay,
is
thank you
useful for
so
you.
much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so much.
much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. So serial number 22. So 21. Maurang Maring is there?
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
Yeah. So now Maurang Maring is there. He will be
Yes, sir.
presenting the paper on digital peace builders, the role of youth,
Yeah.
the social media activism in constructing
Okay, sir.
inclusive peace
Inclusive.
narratives.
Okay,
Beta,
sir.
ज़्यादा time नहीं ले लेंगे ना अभी. We have
Okay.
completed only 3 papers so far. Introduce about
Okay, sir.
you.
Okay.
You go to the main
Okay.
content and you talk about for what is your findings and then go for the conclusions. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sure.
Thank you, beta.
Sir, can you please share? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, you can share. I will
Yeah.
make yourself
You
a
can. You can.
host.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
now you can. Now we can try. Now we can.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, visible.
Okay. Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name. Good evening, everyone. My name is K.S. Morung Marings. I'm currently pursuing PhD at Central University of Punjab. On my study topic is digital peace builders, the role of youth-led social media's activisms in constructive, inclusive peace narrative. So I'll go directly to this is the framework, and I'll go directly to the future studies. Here, implication. The studies contribute theoretically by linking youth activisms to conclusiveness and reduce the hostilities. Practically, it's emphasized. Hello? Hello? It's any issue?
Yes, yes. You can talk. You can
Okay.
talk.
Okay. Emphasize the promoting youth leads initiative digital literacy programs and supportive policy by the governments and platforms. And limitations. Quantitative research cannot fully capture the complexities of youth digital activisms. The future studies. Researchers should use the mixed methods, longitudinal studies, and cross-sectional and comparisons. Explore the AI algorithms and government governance impact on youth peace context. And this is the conclusions. Youth social media activism fosters inclusive peace narrative, empathies, and dialogue. Youths are the active, diverse of social change, making social medias a powerful tool for the participants, peace builders. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Babu. Thank you so
Okay.
much for completing before time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
and yes, you also, Babu. What is the theoretical perspectives behind your paper?
A- a- Actually, sir, my theoretical is
Uh,
conceptual paper.
Super, no problem. Anyway, it has theory, no? Your voice is breaking. You're not audible to me. Moram, Moram, your voice is breaking. Are you able to talk? Okay, fine. It's a technical issue from his side. No problem. Let me call serial number 22. Hariom Duggal.
Yes, sir.
Hariom sir is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The serial number 22 and 23.
Serial number 22
2
and
and
23.
23.
Okay, Pavan Kumar.
हाँ जी सर.
Yeah.
Sir, kindly request.
Yes, I have approved. Now you can share your screen. Yes, your screen is visible also. Yes, visible. introduce about you to the forum and then you can start.
Okay, sir.
Beautiful.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the committee to provide me this opportunity to present my research paper today. Uh, Imagine receiving a video call from someone in a police uniform claiming your identity has been linked to a money laundering scheme. They tell you that you are under digital arrest and cannot hang up or contact everyone until you pay a verification fee. For many, nightmare is a reality. I am Pawan Kumar, a research scholar under the supervision of Dr. Harihom Duggal from Indira Gandhi University, Mirpur, Rewari. And my research topic, my paper presentation topic is Digital Arrest Scams, a descriptive study of a growing threat to modern society in the cyber age. uh, we all know that the digital world is become increasingly ingrained in our everyday life, driven by the dominance of digital transformation and continuous technological innovations. India has exceeded at least 800 million internet users at the moment, and internet services have been used by a large percentage of population. Just a minute, sir. It is highlighted that the digital arrest scam has gained significant prominence, uh, even being addressed by the Indian Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, Man Ki Baat program. First of all, digital arrest scam is a new weapon of cybercrime driven by the dominance of digital transformation, continuous technological innovations, and significant growth in the digital banking system. It is a sophisticated type of cyber fraud. Digital arrest scam mostly rely on the social engineering, or we can say that cognitive overload strategies or human hacking. Or we can say that it are just like virtual kidnapping rather than technological penetrations. A sort of cyber-enabled fraud or scam known as digital arrest or virtual confinement or virtual kidnapping occurs when the cyber criminals poses as a government officials, law enforcement officers, police officers, CBI officers, and falsely accuses others of committing crimes. In the realm of the internet, the digital arrest scams refers to illegal and fraudulent schemes that take advantage of both technological advancements and psychological manipulations, frequently causing victims to suffer severe financial losses and psychological distresses and long-term mental pain. Under the guise of ongoing investigation, victims are frequently contacted via phone calls, video conferencing platforms, or messaging apps and told to stay in constant communication. This type of cybercrime is being using psychological pressure or cognitive overload, fear, and making individuals hurry. This scam can also be known with the other names like virtual kidnapping, digital custody, or virtual confinements. The con artist or the scammers, fraudsters commonly frame victims for crimes like money laundering, unlawful financial dealings, identity theft, engagement of cyber crimes, or trafficking in drugs. After that, they put pressure on the victims to do what they are told, which frequently involves disclosing of sensitive information and instant transfers of money. Uh, by this digital scam or the digital arrest, the individual or victim lose contact from the outside world. Now, what causes digital arrest or the reasons behind digital arrest? The first one is failure of technology, rules and policies, insufficient digital literacy and awareness, inadequate cybersecurity procedures, exploitation of fear and authority, quick digitalization and internet uptake, inequality in digital, social and ethical issues, and growing use of internet banking and digital payments. Now, it is the fraud structure which shows the modus operandi used by the scammers and the tactics used by the scammers to make these types of crimes. And the objectives of my study is to examine the nature, effects, and techniques of digital arrest scams, to explore preventive measures and strategies to reduce digital arrest scams, and to highlight the importance of awareness and digital literacy. The research methodology I have applied in this paper is descriptive and theoretical approach, which is based on the secondary data sources and reports published in the scholarly articles, cybercrime reports, and news articles. Here is the modus operandi or techniques used by the cyber criminals, just like they act like an authority or law enforcement officers or police officers. Spoofing caller IDs means psychological manipulations or social engineering, fake legal documents, video call manipulations or fake setups, ongoing surveillance. Victims are isolated and controlled by being kept on lengthy calls and instructed not to contact anybody. They lose contact with the outside world. Requesting prompt payments. The scammers request for the prompt or instant uh, money transfer to the victims. Here is some case studies. The first one is a 71-year-old, a retired engineer, lose over 1.17 crore rupees after being kept under surveillance for the weeks by the con artists posing as TRI officers, CBI officers, RBI officers, and police officers. And the second case study is an elderly man in Pune, 2023, sent 3.5 lakh rupees after being threatened over a WhatsApp video call. He instantly sent rupees 3.5 lakh to the scammers. And the third case study is a Vardhaman Group chairman in Ludhiana, Punjab, Mr. S.P. Oswal. The report published in the print 2024, and he was defrauded of 7 crore rupees through a fake virtual courtroom scam by posing a CJI in a digital arrest case. And the impact of digital arrest scams are the first of all the financial losses, big financial losses, and psychological impact or cognitive overload, just like long-term mental pain, fear, and panic. Economic impact also, growing cybercrime slows the adoption of digital technology by undermining trust in the online banking and digital payment system. The victims lose trust in the digital platforms also. Social consequences means the victims may feel embarrassed or fear legal troubles and avoid reporting crimes. There are some preventive measures that can prevent us from the digital arrest scams. First is do not panic and stay calm. कि हम पैनिक नहीं होना है, उस थोड़ा सा शांत रहना है. Always cross check the official resource, cross check with the official resources, the official sources before trusting claims of legal actions. The third one is never share sensitive information on the WhatsApp call or any call or in messages and the OTPs. Report the fraud and suspicious activity to your bank and the police in the cyber cell. Follow the guidelines issued by the government time to time, and educate yourself on the common scam tactics, and also share the information with your loved ones and the neighbors. Here are some existing Indian laws, Indian Penal Code and IT Act 2000, Section 419, 420, and 507, and IT Act 2000, Section 66C and Section 66D. Here are some government measures and police actions to enable prompt reporting and financial fraud actions. The cybercrime helpline number 1930 was established. The Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center 14C was established by the Home Ministry of India, and the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal www.cybercrime.gov.in was launched by the Government of India to allow individuals to report cyber crimes, including digital arrest scams. Here are some challenges also that we have, or the police lacks technological training. Inadequate cyber forensic investigation structure is also there. Response times are being frequently delayed. International collaboration is also necessary to combat cross-border crimes, but it is frequently impeded by legal systems and administrative obstacles. Here are some importance of awareness and digital literacy. It is must in today's world. In today's, when the technology is improving and advances, the awareness towards the cyber crime or the technology is must. And the importance of awareness and digital literacy are the being aware makes it easier for the people to see the dangers like phishing, scams, and digital arrest frauds. Awareness encourages respect for the rules and privacy as well as moral use of technology. Users who possess digital literacy are better able to utilize the internet sensibly, safeguard personal information, and steer clear of dangerous behaviors. It makes it possible for the people to assess information they get online, spot false information, and make wise choices. The consequences and the conclusion are that the digital arrest is a quickly expanding cybercrime that takes advantage of the people's fear and ignorance. Criminals use the tactics, yeah, tricks victims into sending instant money by posing as a law enforcement officers and threatening legal actions. By following the preventive measures and educating the individuals about these cyber frauds and dangers, the effect of this type of cyber fraud or digital arrest may be deceased and helps to create a safe online environment. The awareness and digital literacy in individual results in promoting the timely reporting of frauds and other suspicious activity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful presentation. In fact, this is a major social problem currently, the situation which even I have experienced the same. And very good. It's a beautiful presentation with clear-cut information. And the participants, a good presentation. Very good. Any question from your side, participants? Okay. Thank you, Pavan Kumar and Dr. Hariom Douglas Sargis.
Thank you,
And
sir.
let me invite serial number 24, Esther. Serial
Yes,
number
sir.
24, Esther. Is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Esther, you are audible. சற்று சீக்கிரமாக
Okay,
முடியுங்க.
sir. No,
Yes. You can start, ma'am.
And good afternoon to all.
Good
My
evening, ma'am.
topic is mechanical properties of graphene oxide reinforced EPDM HDPE composite. And introduction, EPDM is a elastomer which is characterized by a wide range of properties, and HDPE is a thermoplastic, and it is also having high application in a wide range of areas. Mechanical properties of HDPM can be further improved by the addition of the nanofillers such as graphite, graphene oxide, CNT, etc. On blending, the physical properties can be altered to produce films with enhanced physical and mechanical properties. The objective of the main study is to prepare EPDM HDP graphene oxide nanocomposite by simple blending technique and characterize the films by FTIR, and the mechanical properties of the blends are also studied. This is the FTIR graph of EPDM, graphene oxide, and EPDM HDP blend. And finally, EPDM HDP loaded with graphene oxide. Here, the absorption band 722, it is due to the stretching of CH2, and 1374, it is due to the CH3 stretching. 2924, it is, and 2853, it is the symmetric and asymmetric stretching of methylene. 1464, 1377 are due to the CH2 and the stretching stretching of EPDM. EPDM CH stretching. A relative increase in the intensity of the band in near 1373, it is it is observed in the EPDM HTP blend. So it informs that it is blended with HTP is properly blended with the EPDM, and there is minor shifts in some of the blends. 1604, 1867, and 2322. It shows that proper incorporation of the HCP into the EPDM matrix. And when GO is graphene oxide is added with this blend, the structure is confirmed that the base hydrocarbon structure is largely unaltered, and the broadening of the OH and the downshift of CO hydrogen bonding, CO suggests that hydrogen bonding in graphene oxide group and the polymer. And there is no new peaks in the IR of EPDM HGP graphene oxide. It shows that there is no covalent bond, only the physical interaction between the polymer blend and the graphene oxide in the nanoparticle, and there is no chemical bond formation, only physical interaction. This is the tensile properties studied for the formed films, and it shows a low value of tensile properties for EPDM, and there is slight high value for EPDM filled with graphene oxide. And for EPDM HDPE graphene oxide, 1% graphene oxide filled composition, there is a high value for tensile strength, modulus, percentage of elongation. So it shows that 1 PHR graphene oxide loaded EPDM HDPE shows high. It's a good film. And this is the tensile strength of graphene oxide filled EPDM and the EPDM HDPE blends. And the next figure shows the elongation at break. And here, when we compare the tensile properties of various blends, and the tensile strength and the elongation percentage of 1 PHR graphene oxide loaded EPDM HDPE is high. The tensile strength of EPDM HDP graphene oxide nanocomposite decreases at higher graphene oxide loading. It is mainly due to the agglomeration of the graphene oxide and the poor dispersion of the graphene oxide in the polymer blend. Conclusion: the addition of 1 pH of graphene oxide yields high quality film with improved tensile properties. The HDP EPDM graphene oxide composite exhibit enhanced mechanical properties compared to the EPDM graphene oxide composite without HDPE. The graphene oxide reinforcement plays a crucial role in increasing the properties at low concentration. So we have prepared a very good film with increased tensile properties at very low graphene oxide concentration. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your beautiful presentation. Let me invite Manisha. Manisha is there? Manisha is there? Serial number 26, Kamlesh Kumar sir is there? Serial number 26, Kamlesh Kumar sir is there? Okay. Serial number 27, Shima Bakshi is there? Shima Bakshi is there? Okay. Serial number 28, Shivangi ma'am is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Shivangi. You are presenting your paper in Hindi, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Uh, Start.
Okay, sir.
Are you going to present your PPT?
No, no, sir.
PPT है आपके पास?
No, sir. No.
चलेगा. स्टार्ट कर.
Okay.
शुरू करो.
Good evening, sir, and my fellow participant. Myself, Shivangi Singh, research scholar at Department of Sociology at Ram Manohar Lohia, Awadh University. And my topic is जलवायु परिवर्तन और मातृ स्वास्थ्य सामुदायिक अनुकूलन में आशा कार्यकर्तियों की भूमिका ग्रामीण समाज का समाजशास्त्री अध्ययन। जलवायु परिवर्तन केवल पर्यावरणीय समस्या नहीं है, बल्कि ये सामाजिक और स्वास्थ्य संबंधी चुनौतियों को भी जन्म देता है। ग्रामीण भारत में महिलाएं, विशेषकर गर्भवती महिलाएं, इस परिवर्तन के प्रति अधिक संवेदनशील हैं। तापमान में वृद्धि, जल की कमी, पोषण की कमी तथा संक्रामक रोगों का प्रसार मातृ स्वास्थ्य को प्रभावित करता है। ऐसे में आशा वर्कर एक महत्वपूर्ण कड़ी के रूप में कार्य करती हैं, जो समुदाय और स्वास्थ्य प्रणाली के बीच एक सेतु का काम करती हैं। हम अध्ययन के उद्देश्य पे आते हैं, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स। पहला ऑब्जेक्टिव है जलवायु परिवर्तन का मातृ स्वास्थ्य पर प्रभाव का अध्ययन करना, कि कौन-कौन से ऐसे जो क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है इसमें कौन-कौन से जो मैटरनल हेल्थ है उसको कैसे-कैसे इफेक्ट कर रहे हैं, कौन-कौन सी प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी पड़ रही है जो भी प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन्स है। सेकंड है ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में आशा कार्यकर्तियों का भूमिका का विश्लेषण करना। इन लोग किस तरीके से क्लाइमेट चेंज ड्यूरिंग क्लाइमेट चेंज के अंदर जो प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन हैं या जिनके न्यूबॉर्न बेबी हैं उनको किस तरीके से ये उनके हेल्थ को मैनेज करने में उनको सजेशन दे रही हैं। क्योंकि अक्सर होता है कि जो रूरल एरियाज होते हैं, ग्रामीण समुदाय, वहाँ की जो महिलाएं होती हैं, वुमेन्स होती हैं, वो थोड़ा कम अवेयर होती हैं जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ लिटरेसी एंड अगर हम व्यवहारिक रूप से एक प्रैक्टिकल बात करें तो जैसा मैंने खुद भी देखा है। थर्ड पॉइंट है सामुदायिक स्तर पर अनुकूलन रणनीतियों को समझना कि अडॉप्ट कैसे करना है चीजों को, कौन-कौन सी पॉलिसी, कौन-कौन सी स्ट्रेटजी बनानी है हेल्थ अवेयरनेस को लेके, स्पेशली अबाउट प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन। एंड फोर्थ है ऑब्जेक्टिव मातृ स्वास्थ्य सुधार हेतु सुझाव देना। वो कौन-कौन से सुझाव देती हैं। अगर हम रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी की बात करें तो ये जो हमारी स्टडी है इसमें डिस्क्रिप्टिव एंड क्वालिटेटिव नेचर का है, जो जलवायु परिवर्तन के संदर्भ में मातृ स्वास्थ्य और आशा कार्यकर्तियों की भूमिका का विश्लेषण करता है। अध्ययन क्षेत्र जो है वो अम्बेडकर नगर जनपद की जलालपुर तहसील के ग्रामीण क्षेत्र का है। इसके लिए मैंने एक उद्देश्यपूर्ण नमूना जिसको पारपजिक सैंपलिंग का उपयोग करते हुए 25 प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन्स एंड 10 आशा वर्कर्स यानी मैंने टोटल 35 रिस्पोंडेंट्स को लिया। डाटा कलेक्शन के लिए साक्षात्कार, अवलोकन एवं अनुसूची का प्रयोग किया। और जो भी हमें जो डेटा का गुणात्मक विश्लेषण करते हुए क्वालिटेटिव डेटा का विश्लेषण करते हुए जलवायु परिवर्तन, मातृ स्वास्थ्य और आशा भूमिका के बीच के संबंध को समझा। या कह सकते हैं ये जो स्टडी है, ये जो रिसर्च पेपर, ये फील्ड बेस्ड क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च है जिसे जलवायु परिवर्तन और मातृ स्वास्थ्य के अंतर संबंध को समझने के लिए पर उद्देश्यपूर्ण नमूना और सेमी स्ट्रक्चर इंटरव्यू का उपयोग किया गया है। नाउ हम अभी आएंगे यहाँ पे अपने एनालिसिस एंड डिस्कशन पे, जो हमने अपने रिसर्च पेपर की स्टडी के दौरान देखा। इस स्टडी के दौरान मैंने ये पाया कि जलवायु परिवर्तन का ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में विशेष रूप से मातृ स्वास्थ्य पर गहरा प्रभाव पड़ रहा है। डिस्ट्रिक्ट अम्बेडकर नगर के जलालपुर तहसील के संदर्भ में जो बातें सामने आई, पहला था जो तापमान में वृद्धि हुई है, इससे अत्यधिक गर्मी काफी बढ़ी। इसके कारण जो प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन है उनमें डिहाइड्रेशन, कमजोरी, थकान, ये इन सारी प्रॉब्लम्स को देखा गया। और ड्यूरिंग देयर प्रेगनेंसी जटिलता उनके सामने बहुत सारी कॉम्प्लेक्स मतलब उनके हेल्थ के सामने देखी गई बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स वो फेस कर रही हैं। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट आता है वर्षा का असंतुलन प्रभाव। अनियमित वर्षा, बारिश बहुत कम हो रही है, जिसके कारण और या तो कभी-कभी बारिश इतनी होती है कि जो अगर कोई विमेन है जो प्रेग्नेंट है उसको कोई इश्यू हुआ हेल्थ से रिलेटेड, तो वो जो सीएससी है एंड पीएससी है, वहाँ तक जाने में उसे बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है क्योंकि अक्सर ये 12 किलोमीटर, 30 किलोमीटर जो रूरल एरियाज़ होते हैं ऐसे रेंज में पाए जाते हैं। तो इसके लिए भी काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी होती है। और समय पर जाँच, जो एएनसी एक जाँच होती है मतलब ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी और जो है मतलब कि सरकारी जो गवर्नमेंट प्रसव सेवाएँ होती हैं, वो नहीं मिल पाती हैं। क्योंकि एक दूरी जैसे बहुत सा बारिश हुई, बाढ़ आया, ये सारी चीज़ें भी देखने को मिली हैं। फिर हम बात करेंगे न्यूट्रिशन का, पोषण पर प्रभाव। अब क्योंकि क्लाइमेट चेंज के कारण कृषि उत्पादन प्रभावित होता है, जिससे खाद्य पदार्थों की उपलब्धता कम होती है। क्योंकि गाँव में क्या है ना, लोग मोस्टली डिपेंडेंट हैं एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर पे और यहाँ पे अगर एग्रीकल्चर जैसे पानी नहीं बरसा और पानी बहुत ज़्यादा बरसा, फसल खराब हो गई, तो इससे क्या होता है ना कि मतलब एक इम्बैलेंस हो जाता है, इकोनॉमिकल प्रॉब्लम आती है, जिसका खाने-पीने पे भी असर देखने को मिलता है। तो अब गर्भवती महिलाओं में कुपोषण और एनीमिया जिसके कारण इनकी ये एनेमिक हो जाती है लाइक खून की कमी, कुपोषण मतलब प्रॉपर इनको एक न्यूट्रिशन ना मिलना ड्यूरिंग देयर प्रेगनेंसी और आफ्टर प्रेगनेंसी ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत मैटर करती हैं। अब 4th पॉइंट पे आते हैं संक्रामक रोगों में वृद्धि। जैसे कि जो संक्रामक रोग होते हैं, अब क्लाइमेट चेंज के कारण जैसे मच्छर है, मॉस्किटो और जो जल जनित रोग में वृद्धि देखी जाती है, जो कि प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन जो होती हैं उनके हेल्थ के लिए काफ़ी मतलब डेंजरस है, जोखिमपूर्ण है। और साथ ही नवजात शिशु कोई न्यूबॉर्न बेबी है, तो उनके ऊपर भी इन सारी चीज़ों का बहुत ही बैड इफ़ेक्ट देखने को या नेगेटिव इफ़ेक्ट देखने को मिलता है। अब हम यहाँ पे ये सारी चीज़ों को स्टडी करने के बाद हम रोल्स को देखेंगे क्योंकि जो आशा होती हैं, वो मेन 1000 की पॉपुलेशन पे काम करती हैं ये, उससे अधिक भी हो सकता है और ये डायरेक्ट उनको मिलती हैं। जो गाँव की औरतें होती हैं, वुमेन्स होती हैं, उनसे डायरेक्ट ये इंटरैक्ट करती हैं क्योंकि वो लोकल होती हैं और उनसे वो अपनी डिस्कशन करने में, अपनी प्रॉब्लम को शेयर करने में हेजिटेट नहीं होती हैं। तो अध्ययन में यह पाया गया कि आशा कार्यकर्तियां गर्भवती महिलाओं को स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं के बारे में जागरूक करती हैं, उन्हें वैक्सीनेशन, टीकाकरण और पोषण से संबंधित जानकारियों को बताती हैं, जलवायु परिवर्तन के प्रभाव के प्रति समुदाय को सचेत करती हैं, साथ ही स्वच्छ जल व पोषण पर भी ध्यान व सरकारी योजनाओं जैसे जेएसवाई है, जननी सुरक्षा योजना, पीएम वीवाई है, प्रधानमंत्री मातृत्व वंदना योजना, इन सारों का जो प्रॉफिट मिलता है, जो इकोनॉमिकल प्रॉफिट मतलब सरकार की तरफ से जो दिया जाता है, उसको भी दिलवाने में हेल्प करती है, जिससे वो अच्छा खा सके और अपने ऊपर उस पैसों को लगा सके। अब आते हैं ओवरऑल डिस्कशन पे। इस स्टडी से यह स्पष्ट होता है कि जलवायु परिवर्तन केवल पर्यावरणीय समस्या नहीं है, बल्कि यह सामाजिक और स्वास्थ्य संबंधी चुनौती भी है। विशेष रूप से ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में मातृ स्वास्थ्य पर इसका गंभीर प्रभाव है। आशा वर्कर्स की एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन के कारण इन प्रभाव को हम कम होते हुए देख रहे हैं और ये कर भी रही हैं, काफी अच्छा काम कर रही हैं। परंतु उन्हें और भी अधिक लेकिन होता क्या है उन्हें और ट्रेनिंग की ज़रूरत है, ठीक है? उन्हें उतनी ट्रेनिंग नहीं जैसे कि क्लाइमेट चेंज का तो उन्हें और ट्रेनिंग दें क्योंकि वो भी मतलब कि इन चीज़ों को लेकर के अभी बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब इनको एक तरह से हमें लगता है कि एक प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग इसके लिए भी उन्हें देनी चाहिए। और रिसोर्सेज़ जैसे उनके पास भी आने-जाने की प्रॉब्लम्स होती है, सबके पास स्कूटी और फोर व्हीलर नहीं होता है, साइकिल नहीं चला सकते हैं, ये सारी चीज़ें भी देखने को मिली हैं। आगे चलते हैं जलवायु परिवर्तन का प्रभाव अगर हम देखें तो ये मल्टी डायमेंशनल है मतलब बहुत सारे जो सी और मोस्टली ये मातृ स्वास्थ्य को प्रभावित करता है। लेकिन आशा वर्कर्स जो हैं ये अपने रोल से ये मतलब कि जो प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन हैं उनको अपने मतलब कि सुझाव से सजेशंस से उनको काफ़ी हद तक हेल्प कर रही हैं। जैसे कि तापमान से वृद्धि में तापमान में वृद्धि हुई तो पानी की कमी है, डिहाइड्रेशन है, तो ये इस चीज़ को बताती है कि आप ज़्यादा पानी पीते रहो, आप रेस्ट करो प्रॉपर ये सारी चीज़ें। और स्वास्थ्य अगर मतलब कि स्वास्थ्य सेवाएँ तो जैसे एम्बुलेंस है ना? तो उसके लिए भी सरकारी सेवाओं के लिए बताती हैं कि आप इसका यूज़ करके आप हॉस्पिटल तक पहुँच सकते हो। कोई कृषि उत्पादन की कमी हुई तो उसके अगर कुपोषण है किसी को, कोई लेडी है या एनेमिक है, तो उसे बताती हैं आप कौन-कौन से सप्लीमेंट्स लो, आप कौन-कौन सी चीज़ें खाओ, मतलब जो भी न्यूट्रिशन से भरा हो सारी चीज़ों की उन्हें जानकारी देती हैं और ऐसा वो एक्चुअल में कर भी रही है। हमने सर्वे में देखा बड़ा अच्छा काम उनका इस समय मतलब हो रहा है, स्पेशली अगर हम ग्रामीण समुदाय की बात करें तो। फिर संक्रामक रोग जो है, जैसे मलेरिया है, डेंगू है, इन सारे के खतरों के बारे में बताती हैं। इसमें वैक्सीनेशन है, स्वच्छता है, इन सभी के प्रति जागरूक कर रही हैं। और पानी स्पेशली, स्वच्छ पानी, स्वच्छ जल, क्लियर वाटर, है ना? इससे भी क्या मतलब कि इसको पीने के लिए कि
मैम
आप
लास्ट
गंदा
टू
पानी
मिनट्स मैम, लास्ट टू
ओके
मिनट्स
सर,
मैम।
यस सर, सॉरी
यस मैम,
सर
लास्ट 2 minutes, या
ओके सर, कॉन्क्लूड सर
हाँ, यस मैम।
ओके सर, ओके। ओके सर, कमिंग ऑन कंक्लूजन। तो इस स्टडी से यह क्लियर होता है कि जलवायु परिवर्तन का प्रभाव केवल पर्यावरण तक सीमित नहीं है, बल्कि यह मातृ स्वास्थ्य पर भी गंभीर प्रभाव डालता है, विशेषकर ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में। तापमान में वृद्धि, अनियमित वर्षा, पोषण की कमी तथा संक्रामक रोगों की बढ़ती समस्या गर्भवती महिलाओं के लिए स्वास्थ्य की चुनौती बनती जा रही। अम्बेडकर नगर जनपद के तहसील जलालपुर में पाया गया कि इन परिस्थितियों में आशा कार्यकर्ता एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाती हैं। न केवल स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं तक पहुंच सुनिश्चित करती हैं, बल्कि महिलाओं को जागरूक बनाकर सामुदायिक स्तर पर अनुकूलन की प्रक्रिया को भी मजबूत करती हैं। अतः यह आवश्यक है कि आशा वर्कर्स को और अधिक एम्पावर्ड, ट्रेंड और रिसोर्सेज से फुल ऑफ रिसोर्सेज, मतलब उनको दिया जाए जो भी चीजों की जरूरत है, ताकि वो क्लाइमेट चेंज के इस बढ़ते हुए प्रभाव के बीच मातृ स्वास्थ्य की सुरक्षा में अपने प्रभावी योगदान, अपने एक एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन के थ्रू लोगों की हेल्प कर सके। इस प्रकार जलवायु परिवर्तन की चुनौती के बीच मातृ स्वास्थ्य सुरक्षा में आशा कार्यकर्ता की भूमिका एक महत्वपूर्ण रोल प्ले करती है। सो सर, थैंक यू सर। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me invite serial number 29, Rita Biswas, ma'am, to present a
Yes.
paper on
Yes. Yes.
socio-hydrogeological change in South Andaman,
Yes,
from
sir.
being
Present.
self-sufficient in farming to the great adaptation of 2026. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'll just share.
Ma'am, you are from Andaman?
Yes, sir. I'm from Andaman.
Yesterday we came
Yes,
in offline
sir.
mode, ma'am. Yesterday we came there only.
And
Offline
I
day
am
one
not
was
in. I am not in Port Blair. I am located in North Andaman.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
that is far away.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. You can present now. The time starts now. Are you able to share the screen, ma'am?
No, sir. I'm not getting my PPT.
Okay, no problem. We can start. Yes, it was visible now, but
Yeah.
visible, but it is showing only our screen. You go completely shared your what was that entire screen, so it is showing the entire screen of yours.
Entire screen, but PPT.
Open the PPT in one. What was that one side?
It is open. PPT is open.
Open. No. Now give shared screen.
PPT is open.
चले गया मैम
It
कोई
was
बात नहीं now.
minimized. PPT
No,
was
don't minimize. Okay,
Yeah.
normally okay normally give share screen.
After I open the PPT, how do I share the screen? Because that button I am
No.
unable to see.
No, ma'am. No, you directly go to the media Zoom. No, in Zoom you have a share option, right? In the Zoom you have sharing option, right?
In acha, just a minute. Sir. In the PPT
You
there
take
is a
your
share
time.
option, no?
Yeah. If you in there you can see your PPT. Are you able to see your PPT? PPT window?
Are you seeing my PPT, sir?
No.
No, you're not seeing my PPT. Oh God, why
Okay,
it's
fine. You
not
can start,
opening?
ma'am. No
But
problem.
how do I do it? Okay. You're not seeing my PPT, isn't it?
No, it is not visible.
Okay, I think there is some problem in the link here because it's North Andaman. So my topic is, are you able to hear me?
Ma'am, that is complete. You are completely audible, ma'am. We also visible, audio also visible.
My topic is socio-hydrogeological change in South Andaman from being self-sufficient in farming to the great adaptation of 2026. So now the study area is the urban part of South Andaman, urban part of the port, the Sri Vijayapuram city. Okay. Now, the socio-economic landscape of South Andaman is currently at a climatological tipping point where traditional agrarian social contract has dissolved in favor of a great adaptation necessitated by a demographic pressure and systemic environmental collapse. Now, driven by an increase in settlement area and a wet scarcity paradox, the region has transmitted from a self-sufficient paddy-centric society to a techno-adaptive model where social resilience is dictated by a technical resource management. Now, this transformation is further defined by a widening resiliency gap and a shift towards systemic independence at the state centralizes management to address rising salinity, groundwater depletion, and significant ecological grief. Now, great adaptation. Now, the great adaptation is defined as a compulsory systemic shift in South Andaman district necessitated by the collapse of the traditional island life under the following stresses. That is, one is the demographic pressure, which is growing, the sea level that is rising 3.3 mm per year, and saltwater intrusion into the overexploited aquifers. So, therefore, uh, therefore, the great adaptation is characterized by the following pillars. Now, dissolution of the agrarian social contract. Now, as farmers who were dependent on growing paddy, now they are unable to grow paddy, so that this agrarian social system is getting dissolved. Now, response to the wet scarcity. Although there is a huge quantity of rain, that is 3,180 mm of rainfall, but this is not able to recharge the groundwater because of the type of the soil and the slope in the islands where 60% of the rainwater runs to the sea. Next is the techno-adaptive social hierarchies. Now, because of the condition of what hydrological cycle disruption, there is a social hierarchy growing where the people having a sponge system for generating water security are more secured, whereas the farmers with saline lands are no more secure. Now, livelihood migration, the people have to migrate from farming to some other occupations like tourism. Now, One Health integration. Now, this is integrating the health of the soil with the health of the community. Next, we see the demographic rise. Now, from 1961, the population of the southern urban part of Port Blair, that is Sri Vijayapuram, was only 14,075. And as per the 2011 census, because we have not had a 2021 census due to Corona, so 2011 census, the urban part of Sri Vijayapuram has a population of 108,058. Now, that is a sevenfold increase. And this increase has led to a 208% increase in the land settlement area. That is, in 1961, the land that was, sorry, 1979, the settlement area was only 1,637 hectares. And by 2011, the settlement area is 12,083 hectares. That means it is a 208% increase. Now, for this 208% of increase, we have to have a lot of land to be diverted. Lot of paddy land, a lot of forest land is diverted to it. Now, next we go to the methodological framework. The methodological framework uses several different research tools to connect the environmental data with the everyday social reality of water management. One is combining the data of the for last 50 years, creating a stress index. This information is to put to calculate a groundwater stress index. This by calculating the groundwater stress index, we can exactly pinpoint the hotspots where water scarcity will be extremely severe. The resiliency gap, by layering environmental facts against social ones, the model identifies a resiliency gap. The socio-hydrogeological mapping, the study employs an integrated social hydrogeological mapping framework utilizing the multi-criteria decision analysis to investigate this great where to have the great adaptation by weighting the environmental and social factors. That is what will be the weight of each of the factors. The social hydrological mapping identifies exactly where the great adaptation is most critical. The hydrogeological and resiliency gap across the identified hotspots. Now, the hotspots that have been identified is number one, Doligat and Pratrapur and Sipighat and Soljari area. Now, in these places, the groundwater levels in the average pre-monsoon has declined to 46.5%. That is basically it is ranging from 36% to 57%. Then rapid urban expansion, the Port Blair Fringe has seen a massive 208% increase in settlement area. And environmental and social vulnerability in Sipighat Soldiery, high salinity levels have come up, that is 39.33 PSU. Now, this high salinity level has been coupled with ecological griefs because the ancestral lands have been lost to this high salinity. Now, ground truth precision, the empirical data analysis, that is the Central Groundwater Board monitoring reveals a critical state of the island's freshwater lens. Once the physical validity of the scarcity, then quantified aquifer depletion, 36 to 57% depletion before monsoon, draft versus recharge trend, that is 2014 to 2023, the recharge trend shows a decline. Runoff impact, 60% of the surface runoff goes to the oceans. Then water stress analysis criteria weights. Now, in order to calculate the water stress analysis, the weightage of the factors, the land usage and land cover intensity is the most significant factor, carrying a 40% weightage. The hydrological stress is the second most weighted criteria, that is 35%. That is where the groundwater has declined, ranging from 36 to 57%. And the salinity risk contributes to 25% of the overall analysis. Now, mapping this resiliency gap, the resiliency gap has to be mapped. The literacy, even in the areas with most literate population, it is seen that they are unable to cope up with the high saline zones. The tipping point in areas like Sipighat, soil salinity has reached 39.33 plus minus 3.21 PSU, a threshold where human knowledge cannot overcome the physically impossibility of traditional farming. Now, the key environmental and urbanization metrics for each hotspot cluster between 2014 and 2024: rapid urbanization, groundwater depletion, soil salinity. So, data acquisition and spatial analysis, the geospatial data is acquired. Now, it is seen that land usage, and land cover of South Andaman has been compared from 2010 to 2020. It has been compared, and then the data has been extrapolated to
Ma'am,
calculate,
excuse me, ma'am.
forecast the
Last 2
data.
minutes, ma'am.
calculate the data of 2030, and it is seen that by 2030 water body and barren lands would be zero. That means there would be no water body left. So in that case, it is seen that we have to go for a we have to go for operationalizing One Health in South Andaman. The soil to human health integration has to be done, and hydrological and zoonotic surveillance has to be done. Addressing the ecological grief and mental health has to be done, because it is seen that because of losing the soil, land, there has been lot of grief, and the suicide rate of Andaman Nicobar, the southern Andaman, is 4 times that of the average of the entire India. So that has to be looked into, and the policies and institutional framework has to be should be from island independent to systemic interdependence, and mitigating the time poverty. This has to be looked upon. Okay, thank you for this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for presenting from too far. Good presentation, ma'am. And you have given good comparative study also. Yes, now let me invite serial number 30, Sheena VR. Sheena, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you,
now,
sir.
Sheena, we will be presenting the paper on behavioral change for climate action,
Yes, sir.
psychological and policy perspectives. Kindly
Yes,
please
sir.
be on time. We are running out of time. We are
Yes, sir.
supposed to complete everything by 5 o'clock. Please, huh?
Okay, sir. Good evening. My name is Sheena VR, doing my PhD in psychology at Wells University, Chennai. Today, I am presenting my research on behavioral change for climate action, a psychological and policy perspective. Pierre acknowledged that climate change is a critical emergency evidenced by rising temperatures, extreme weather, and biodiversity loss. While technological innovations like renewable energy are vital, they are insufficient on their own. Human behavior is a central yet often overlooked component of climate mitigation. The purpose of the study is to move beyond simple awareness and driven real everyday action. Specifically, I aim to bridge the action gap, the space between caring about the environment and actually changing our habits. In reviewing existing literature, I found a significant research gap. While behavior theories are well documented, there is limited integration between these psychological insights and practical systems level policy interventions. My paper adopts a holistic approach to address their combining behavioral science and policy framework. My research utilizes a conceptual and review-based design, synthesizing secondary data from peer-reviewed journal and policy reports. Using frameworks like Isaac Eisen's theory of planned behavior, I analyzed determinants that shape climate-related actions. I have categorized these into 3 core pillars. First one is psychological factors, such as environmental awareness, sustainability attitudes, and risk perception. Next, social factors, including cultural norms, peer influence, and how our social identity dictates of our habits. Third one is structural factors, such as infrastructure availability, government policies, and economic conditions. These factors do not operate isolation. They interact to shape our intentions and final actions. The core takeaway of my research is that while policy frameworks and technology are essential. They must be complemented by strategies and directly influence human behavior. By integrating psychological insights into policy design, we can create systems that make sustainable living the easier default choice for everyone. Ultimately, a sustainable future depends our ability to align individual choices with collective social action. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time and attention to us.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, ma'am, since your paper is from the psychological domain, even we have psychology in our subject in
Yes, sir.
sociological perspectives.
Yes, sir.
So, what kind of behavioral change currently affecting a lot, ma'am, because of climate action? As a psychologist, what do you feel, ma'am? What kind of behavioral change now happening now? Any one change, ma'am?
We are very we are very disturbing and irritating behavior and every time
So you are talking
and
about the behavioral
yes,
change, right, ma'am? Behavioral
yes,
change.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
Yes,
okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank
yes.
you. Thank you so much. Very
Thank
good,
you,
ma'am.
sir. Thank you so much
Let me
for
invite. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let
yes,
me
sir.
invite serial number 31, Suchitra T, to present a paper on From Crisis to Collective Action, Climate Change as a Catalyst for Social Transformation.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Suchitra.
Yes, sir. The today's paper presentation, I'm very glad to take this opportunity. The paper title is From Crisis to Collective Action: The Climate Changes as a Catalyst for Social Transformation. I'm from MS Rama University of Applied Science from Bangalore. So I've already shared the PPT. Can I just go through it? Hello?
Yeah, you can share your PPT.
Sure, sir. 1 minute. Can you view my PPT, sir?
No, ma'am.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Can I go through it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The introduction part says that the climate change has transited from an environmental concern to a multi-dimensional, like socio-economic crisis as affecting the not only the governance, even the livelihood and global stability, which is affecting the whole world in different aspects. In developing economics like India, it impacts symmetrical dispersal effects for such as the smallholder farmers or rural communities and urban poor. There is no rural or urban effects of this climate change. It is affecting all over the India with its climate and the pollutions of it. And current climate response remain fragmented and technological, lacking the integration with social equity and justice framework. And these framework we have used literature review from many authors who have said about how to impact, how to adopt for this climate change in positive way, and how the society can impact on this by taking a measures through that, reducing not only the climate change aspects, even the livelihood of people, so that it doesn't affect in much longer. And the main objective of the paper is to analyze the climate change as a driver of social inequality and transformation. It is said that we have to preserve our environment for the future aspects as well. So, to evaluate the role of governance, institution, policy work frameworks in climate action, where the public are directly involved into it and take exposure of community-based and participatory approach in building the resilience on awareness about the what is climate change and why it is impacting in different manners, especially when it comes to the industry levels. So, to examine the integration of climate justice and sustainable development principles, we are going to propose the innovative and interdisciplinary scalable solution for inclusive climate action, which is acceptable by the global areas. And the research methodology is based on qualitative and analytic. It is primarily at the conceptual stage where we are framing the full paper. So the data sources which I have collected is from the government reports and policy documents, the international climate studies which are proposed by Harvard School of Business Schools, and case study from climate affected region in India with the respect to the different states of manners and the region. And the conceptual framework states that in integrated climate social transformation model, the first thing which comes in mind is climate change impacts. This impacts is given to the social inequality appraisal. Then it is an institutional responsible which we propose on the community participation. And at last, we are bringing the technology integration, how to impact these climate change aspects. And this from this we can have an inclusive transformation all over the India, even which can be also be proposed through the global world in the UN. And the innovative model extension from this paper is basically 4P plus E framework, means public, private, public, people, and the equity layer, which is a new addition, and it mandates inclusion lens across all actions like government policies, corporative responsibility, and community participation. The future scope is depending upon development of climate equity index dashboard for policy makers to evaluate what are the changes have been happening in each areas and sectors, and integration of AI based climate governance tool at district level, so that they can also track about the each districts of their region and also get to know what is happening in India. Expansion of green skill development program across university, like a green revolution which we focus on sustainability, it has to be placed in this green skill development programs in the university level. Longevity studies on climate include social transformation patterns. Well, coming to conclusion, we state that climate change is not merely an environmental crisis, but a transformational opportunity to look at. The future of climate action lies in integration sustainability with social justice, a shift from policy centric to people centric model. Like we have to include the people participation in making a policy draft, so that even people will get to know what is happening around them and how we are affecting it. Even the household is also adding to the climate change, even the industry is adding. So how to impact this and reduce in the global level, and the weather patterns are totally differing from past 5 to 10 years. And the inclusive and equitability of technology driven approach can also be applicable to enable a resistible and sustainable society. And there is by end to the concluded, a transformation begins where collective actions are raised to reduce the climate change in the world. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Suchitra, for your presentation. Any questions for Suchitra?
Sir?
Any questions for her? Anybody want to ask questions or questions? Okay, thank you, Suchi. Yeah, let me invite Rupa Moni. Rupa Moni is there? Okay. Dr. KMA Mohammed Omar Farooq is there? Okay. Arivalagan sir is there? Okay. So the total paper presenters are 35. You have called all the 35 names.
Sir,
Now
can
let
I
me start
present?
again from one. Now let
Sir,
me
can I
start
present?
again
My
from...
serial number is, sir. Can I present, sir? My serial number is 32, sir. Pankaj Gupta.
Pankaj Gupta.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, sir. Please, sir.
Thank
Oh,
you.
sorry,
Thank
I
you so
forgot
much.
to call you. Sorry.
No issue, sir. No issue, sir.
Sorry.
Let me
Okay.
share my screen, sir.
Yeah. Really sorry, sir. I just skipped your number.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir.
Yes. You can start, sir.
My screen is visible, sir.
हाँ visible है. शुरू कर दो.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for providing me opportunity for this international seminar. In this prestigious international seminar being hosted by the number of co-partners. I thank all them. I thank Rajodrai sir, ma'am, especially ma'am Roshni Baladevi ma'am from Northeast. My topic is my research paper is Beyond Boundary Towards Co-Management and Community-Centered Conservation in Shikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary. I am Assistant Professor Zoology, Pankaj Gupta, and I am also a research scholar and doing research in the sanctuary area from past 5 years. I am talking about the story of separation. As you know that conservation in India is done under the Wildlife Protection Act, especially under sanctuaries, national parks. So these are the conservation models, and this is totally based on the fortress conservation system. And Western Himalaya, there are a number of sanctuaries and national parks are there. One of the important sanctuaries is the Shikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary, where I am working since past 5 years. And this sanctuary is located in Mandi district, Himachal Pradesh. However, it is a small sanctuary, but the people are residing inside as well as the outside of this sanctuary area. And recently, the eco-sensitive zone has been notified by the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Climate Change and Forest. And this has risen the conflict with the people here. And what is happening in this century, I am talking about that particular thing. So objective of my study is to document the ecological significance of Shikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary and the socio-economic dependency of its neighboring communities, to critically evaluate the policy framework, particularly the 2022 eco-sensitive zone notification, and to learn from the successful community-based conservation model within Himachal Pradesh, and to propose a cohesive community center co-management framework for this Shikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary for both conservation success as well as for social justice. So methodology, it is totally based on the secondary data, notifications, different peer journals, different papers, and different reports from different institutions were considered. And this methodology is completely based on the community-based conservation theory by Burks by 2024. Analytical approach is included, and thematic analysis focused on governance, conflict, livelihood, resilience, as well as the community participation is being done. This century, my observation for this paper include that this century is having the elevation of 1800 to 3300 meters, and it is having different types of forests, especially the temperate forest, alpine forest. And you can see the pictures of the century area which were taken by me. There is a diverse aviflora as well as the mammals which are under the IUCN threat category. And the center there is a temple which I have mentioned in the earlier. This temple, it is a roofless temple of Shikari Mata. By her name, the sanctuary has been named. Further, I want to discuss about this temple is very sacred place for the local people, and many peoples are doing pilgrimage to this temple, which is in the center of this sanctuary area. And these are the pictures of different types of the different villages which are in the eco-sensitive zone. And you can see here in the picture. And the people are totally dependent on fuel wood, fodder, non-timber forest products since centuries. And even the people are facing conflicts also. Crop raiding is done by wild boar, macaques, and livestock depression is done by leopard, bear. Even human safety is also a concern. Further, the forest department compensation process is very slow. It is insufficient and inaccessible. And my observation also include that the eco-sensitive zone is considered outside this sanctuary up to 50 meter to 2 kilometer buffer zone. But it has created the problem for the local people. 43 Gram Panchayat people have already protested against this eco-sensitive zone regulation, which is done by the Ministry of Environment and Forest Change. And now the zonal plan is being prepared. I have also been the part of these zonal plan meetings, and I have attended several meetings in the sanctuary area. And people are thinking that our ancestors have lived here from hundred of year, and they feel that the government is treating them like criminal in their own homeland. So my observation include that there should be the policy change. I have taken the 4 case studies from Himachal Pradesh. One is the Tasarup Chu Conservation Reserve. It is in Spiti. It is the largest conservation area, conservation reserve of the India, and where the local community is playing very important role in conservation. Second is the Great Himalayan National Park, which is one of the this heritage site in Himachal Pradesh. And eco zone, there is also the people are playing very important role in conservation, especially the women. And further in Spiti Valley, where the snow leopard conservation program is being implemented, so women are also playing very important role in conservation, even in camera trapping, even in data analysis. So people participation is very important, and even the government is also mapped 1637 traditional pastoral routes for Gaddis and Gujar communities, which are taken these animals to the sanctuary and to the distant places in different pasturage area of the Western Himalayas. So as far as the discussion is concerned, it has been the us and versus mentality between the people and the governance, and there are policy gaps are there. What policy gaps are in such a manner that there should be some collaborative thinking. The people participation should be increased in this Shikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary area, especially in the zonal master plan. Community should be there, so it should be done only by the shared governance, by the tangible livelihood benefits. If they are being provided to the local people, like Great Himalayan National Park, like Tasarup Chu Sanctuary Conservation Reserve in Himachal Pradesh, gender responsive programming should be there for the local people, and acknowledging their traditional rights is very important, so that the people can participate in the conservation of this sanctuary area also, which they are doing since hundred of years also. So my paper conclude that there should be 4 action plan. First is the institutional reform, that zonal master plan should have people representation from local panchayat, women group, postural associations. Number 2, the economic transition should be there. Sustainable livelihood initiatives should be focused on these for these people, especially ecotourism area, homestay should be there. Sustainable cultivation and marketing programs based on medicinal plants should be there. Organic farming certification and market linkage should be provided to these people, so that they can earn their livelihood. And especially the skill development program like handicraft, apiculture, it should be implemented. Women's help groups should be promoted, so that this sanctuary area which are being neglected, feeling neglected, they should be included in a mainstream, and they can participate in the sustainable conservation of this sanctuary area. Further, the women-led program should be there, especially Women for Wildlife program should be implemented, and policy enforcement and conflict mitigation should be there, so that the transparent and accessible human wildlife conflict mitigation fund can be implemented in this sanctuary area, especially for the affected people. In conclusion, I can say that the current trajectory of this Shikari Devi Wildlife Sanctuary area is unsustainable. Mistrust and conflict undermine both conservation goals, community well-being, and a shift from top-down management to the community center co-management approach is not a compromise. It is a prerequisite for effective and long-term conservation. The seed of the different future already exists in the successful participatory models in Himachal Pradesh, which I already talked about. By embracing such models in the policy framework, which will combine the institutional reform, livelihood support, women empowerment, and respect for traditional right, the Shikari Devi Sanctuary can move beyond boundaries, that is towards the buffer zone, which is being implemented by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. These are my references, and I am open for any question. Thank you so much for providing me opportunity to present my research in this prestigious international seminar.
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so
yes.
much,
Thank
sir.
you so much, Dr. Pankaj Gupta Sarji. It is a beautiful presentation on development-induced displacement, and you beautifully quoted
Thank you so much.
the issues which was happening in the name of development, and how the history and everything you have spoken very well, sir. Thank you so much. Let me
Thank you,
start
sir. Thank
again.
you. You provided opportunity from me. I am far from Himachal Pradesh, sir. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj Gupta Sarji. So all the
Sir,
sequence
I
has
am
been
Dr.
completed.
Balwinder, sir.
Now let me start from
Sir, I
again
am Dr.
serial number
Balwinder,
one.
sir. May I speak?
Daksh is there. Serial number 3. Daksh is there.
Dr. Balwinder, serial number 11.
Okay. Number 4. Akansha Tiwari is there. Akansha Tiwari is there. This is a final call. Akansha Tiwari is not there. Fine. Number 5, Bhavna Mishra is there. Bhavna Mishra is there. Fine. Number 6, Debabola Devi ma'am is there.
Yes, sir. I'm
Debabola.
here.
Yes, ma'am. Now, Dr. Debabola Kangembam Debabola Devi ma'am, she is from Manipur. She is working as a assistant professor and head of the Department of Home Science. And she'll be presenting the paper on climate change, food security, and women's nutrition insights from the Metis community. And you people must be surprised how we came to know about these people. We are closely connected with Manipur authorities, and we used to organize a number of events under the collaboration of Manipur colleges. Any one of the colleges will come to the mainstream whenever we organize any kind of event. So last November we went to Manipur. For the first time,
Yes.
we organized a beautiful international research methodology workshop there. There we came to know about many people. Now, without much delay, let me invite Debabrata Devi to present. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My name is already sir had told. Kangembam Debabola Devi, Assistant Professor, Kasking Hono College, Department of Home Science. My topic is climate change, food security, and women nutrition insights from the Metis community. Climate change has emerged as one of the most significant threats to global food systems under mining progress towards food and nutrition security and exacerbating existing social and health inequalities. It impacts the low and middle income countries where the agriculture remains a primary source of livelihood and where climate sensitive sectors such as smallholder farming, fisheries, and forest based food system constitute the backbone of local diets. Within these settings, marginalized and indigenous population frequently experience a disproportionate burden of climate-related food insecurity and malnutrition owing to historical inclusion, socio-economic uncertainty, and direct dependence on local ecosystems for subsistence. Yes, sir? The Metis community of Manipur, located in India, northeastern region, offers silent context as it is characterized by rich agrobiodiversity, long-standing reliance on indigenous food systems, and a high independence on agricultural and related activities for livelihood. Traditional Metis diets uh, historically incorporated a wide variety of locally sourced plant and animal foods, of which contribute sustainability to micronutrients intake and dietary diversity. Yet recent evidence indicates the emerging concerns about the dietary adequacy and the nutritional status of this population. Concurrently, climatic stress in Manipur, including irregular monsoon patterns, highlighting incidents of floods and drought and land degradation, have begun to disturb customary agricultural calendars, crop choices, and resource-wise, with implications for the availability and the accessibility of nutritionally significant indigenous foods. Gender role is critical yet often underlooked in understanding how climatic change mediates food security and nutrition among the indigenous populations. Across many indigenous and agrarian, such as Metis community, women play the central role in food production, collection, processing, preparation, and intra-household food allocation while simultaneously experiencing the constrained access to land, credit, technology, and formal decision-making spaces. Such structural disadvantages render the women particularly vulnerable to climate-induced food insecurity and hidden hunger as dietary transitions driven by market dependence and the environmental change can result in increased consumption of low calorie dense but the nutrient poor foods and systemic deprioritization of women nutritional needs. Against this backdrop, the present paper examines the interlinkages among the climate variability, food security, and women's nutrition within the Meitei community of the Manipur, India. Using a mixed approach that integrates ethnographic observation, qualitative assessment, and secondary data analysis. By situating Meitei women at the center of the analysis, the study explored how the climate-driven shifts in agriculture and productivity and the food environments uh, reconfigure household food strategies, dietary patterns, and the gender nutritional vulnerabilities. Review of literature. A systematic
Ma'am,
review literature.
ma'am,
Yes.
last 2 minutes, ma'am. Last 2 minutes, ma'am. We
Okay.
are running out of
I,
time.
okay. Yes, sir. I will sum up objectives. And come to the objectives. The main objectives of these are the quantify the extent of the climate induced the agriculture and disrupt and their effects on food availability, access, and the dietary diversity among Meitei household. Number two, to access the prevalence of the food insecurity and the double burden of the malnutrition, undernutrition, and overweight among the women and the reproductive age, linking these to climate shocks and market dependence. Number three, to explore the gender consistency in resource access, decision making, and the time allocation that exacerbate women's nutritional vulnerabilities under climatic stress. Number four, to document and relevant women-led adaptive responses, including community resource sharing and traditional food practices for their contributions to climate resilience. Number five, to provide the evidence-based policy recommendations integrating indigenous knowledge with sustainability initiative for the Northeast India. And I'll come to conclusion. Conclusion, the climate change profoundly disturbs in the Meitei communities' traditional food system in Manipur, driving the agricultural instability, highlighting the market dependence and a dietary shift toward nutritional nutrient poor foods that exacerbate the women's double burden of malnutrition, with 50% of the household facing the moderate to severe food insecurity, rising to 70% after climate shocks, and only 32% of women exhibiting the minimum dietary diversity, gender vulnerabilities rooted in limited land access, only 14% ownership, and intra-household food allocation norms amplify the Norman risks. Women-led adaptation, including 62 adoption of the traditional preservation technologies, techniques, and 45 livelihood diversification demonstrate resilience grounded in indigenous knowledge, yet structural barriers like low extension access, 80% only, hinder scaling these strategies. This study fills critical gaps by linking climate variability, food security, and women's nutrition through a gender-sensitive, Meitei-specific lens, offering actionable insights for Northeast India's equitable, sustainable food system. Thank you, sir. No, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am, for the presentation. Now let me invite serial number 7, Mehdi Sajani. Mary Sanjani is there? Okay, fine. Dr. Sonu Parikh is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm presenting
Yes,
here.
please. Yes. Ma'am,
Yeah,
please be on
this,
time, ma'am. We are running out of time. Kindly
sure,
complete.
sure, sir. I'm sharing my screen, sir.
Yeah, you can share, ma'am.
So my screen is visible,
Yes, ma'am.
sir. Okay, sir. Good evening. I'm Dr. Sonu Parikh. I'm presenting before you my paper on from ancestral wisdom to climate resilience, traditional knowledge system, and environmental management. This paper examines how indigenous and the traditional knowledge can contribute to climate resilience and the social transformation. Background and context: climate change has intensified environmental risks such as extreme weather event, water scarcity, and the biodiversity loss. These challenges especially affect communities dependent of natural resources, highlighting the need for solutions that are both environmental sustainable and the social inclusive. Traditional knowledge system, TKS, traditional knowledge system are development through long interaction between communities and their environments. These systems include practices related to farming, water management, forest conservation, and the disaster preparedness. Rationale of the study dispute there the effectiveness. Traditional knowledge systems have often been neglected formal policies. However, a recent research and global climate framework recognizing their importance and the addressing climate change. Objective of the paper aim of analyzes how traditional knowledge supports environmental management, strengthen climate resilience, and the contribute the broader process of the social transformation. Review of literature. Existing literature highlights that traditional knowledge systems are dynamic, adaptive. Scholar emphasizes their role of sustainable resources use the climate adaptations, particularly in vulnerable regions. Methodology. The study follows of qualitative methodology using a secondary sources such as a book, journal, policies, documents, and case studies. The data were analyzed thematical, identify key patterns and the insights. TKS is the environmental management. Traditional knowledge contributes significance of the environmental management for practices such as a mixed cropping, rainwater harvesting, shared groves, and the community-based forest management. Traditional knowledge of climate resilience. Indigenous communities use traditional indicators, predict water change, and manage this. These practices enhance adaptive capacities and the reduce vulnerability climate related disasters. Social transformations dimensions. Traditional knowledge promotes collective decisions making and the strengthens social coherence, recognizes their system empower marginalized communities of support social just development. Challenges dispute the importance of traditional knowledge faces challenges such as the erase due to a modernization lack of legal protections and the limit inclusive of the formal governance system. Policies there as the need implementations traditional knowledge within the climate actions plan and the environmental governance framework, ensuring participation and the legal surface guard for the knowledge holders. Conclusion. The paper conclude that traditional knowledge system offer valuable of the sustainable pathway of the climate resilience, integrating external wisdom. The modern science is the curriculum for the addressing climate change and achieving social transformation. Benediction line to seek wisdom for your shared cultural heritage. I conclude my presentations with the timeless Tamil couplets that remind you humanity deep connections with nature. Neer Indri Amyadu Ulagin Yara Yarakum Van Indri Amyadu Ojugo. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, sir.
ma'am, for the beautiful presentation. Anthony Perpetual Felicia is there. Hemlata is there. Okay, Balminder Kumar is there.
Yeah, sir, I am Dr. Balwinder, sir. Yes, sir. I am Dr. Balwinder, sir. Yes, may I speak, sir?
Sir, you're audible, sir. You can present, sir.
Okay, sir. The topic of my research paper is sustainable development and climate change, challenges and remedies. As you all know, that there is a vast mm, challenges which can be seen like that to eradicate poverty. We need more and more food security, and for hunger, health, education, gender equality, all these are come under the sustainable development goals. And keeping this thing in mind, we find that there is a tremendous change in climate, and in that we can find that although we have plenty of things earlier, but now these things are not available. Our water level is very deep, and also the future of Mother Earth is on the stake. While discussing the climate change, we just take the case of glacier reduction in polar regions. The polar bears are finding it very difficult to survive. Their sleeping pattern is totally disturbed. The similar thing is with the cutting of forest areas, especially in the Himalayan region also. I am from Hoshiarpur, and I find that there is a belt. The Hoshiarpur was called city of mangoes, but now there are no mango trees. Very little have been there, and the green belt is totally cutted for sake of developing colonies. And in that, we can say that the mm, different social sustainability is challenged on the name of Mother Earth. And we find that the burning of social fuel, deforestation results in landslide, floods are coming again and again, rain is without any region, and industrial emissions are raising atmospheric pressure. Also, the agriculture activities are totally disturbed in the Punjab region. Keeping this thing in mind, I can say something that if we are making smart cities, we are having the goal of inclusive cities. We have to consider smart systems for our sewage treatment plants. We have to save the quality of air. Also, for the urgent action on the climate change, we need a global approach. Although Rio summit, in which Agenda 21 was passed, and also Paris Agreement or Nairobi agreements, but these are not fulfilled. Keeping this thing in mind, I can say that the efforts under the banner of United Nations is totally failed to save Mother Earth. And in that, we can say that the resource depletion is water, forests, fossil fuel, minerals, and also the environmental degradation through the changes in the path of the rivers. We find that in many areas in Bihar, the rivers are changing their path each year, and the agricultural land is disturbed, and it was totally changed its path, and there will be a loss of economic factors also, making the things political and good challenges are not being that for taking any solid decision to save the small areas or the villages areas in which the floods come in a very huge manner. The kilometers are there in water, and lack of political will is also one of the reason that the challenges are making. The remedies are the strong agenda to be considered and making it for a better things, keeping in mind food security. Also, the social and cultural barriers are to be overtaken, and we have to be very much prescribed with the thinking that financial constraints are there, but green technologies are there. In Hoshiarpur, Nagpur district area in which I live, I find that in the last 40 years, all the steep wells are now dry. There is no Bavdi or steep well which can give pure water. Otherwise, also the mountain rivers were coming with the water throughout 12 months. But now the rivers are dried. So converts, we have to conserve the water systems and we to conserve and marine resources. Mangroves are under that. And the similar thing is that when the sea level is raised, many islands will be submerged, and this is a challenge to the people. Now we must say that the technology is coming and we are in digital age, but the system is not adequate to preserve our sustainability, our sustainable development, energy efficiency, tradition of renewable energy. All these are keeping our earth in a very bad state. And to promote deforestation, promote reforestation is one of the most important thing to conserve our biodiversity. Biomass fuel is important if it is required. Biogas from the cow dung and all these things are important. And public-private partnership is to be revised and under the supervision of government. Different governments are talking about the thermal plants, but a country that is having sufficient coal and he is not having any other source, then how we can save energy? So to generate electricity, we have to be very
Excuse me,
much
sir. Last
rely
2 minutes,
on the
sir.
thermal. Okay, sir. In my conclusion, I want to say that the technological innovations are required to save Earth in such a manner that the international cooperation will share energy and financial assistance for developing countries, global agreements. All these are on the base of nature-based solutions and to preserve wetlands. And finally, I can say that the comprehensive approach on a global level is required as Rio Summit to save Mother Earth. As level in the sustainable development and climate change, there are urgent need for a coordinated efforts and sustainable agriculture, energy renewable methods are to be considered as these things are the future of the nature. So finally, I will say that the slogan is to be save earth, save future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. One of the senior most professor presenting in the international conference. It's a biggest thing, sir. We sincerely congratulate you for your seriousness. You are so serious about the presentation. Seriously, we are thankful, sir. We are thankful to you. It is not about you. It is we are thankful to you, and you were presented well, sir. And you talked about Save Earth, Save India, one of the beautiful slogan by one of our people from Tamil Nadu, Yogi, and he is the one who traveled around the world to talk about save soil, save earth, save nation. And you also highlighted the same concept, Dr. Balvinda Kumar, sir. Really a great speech, sir. Really a great presentation, and thank you so much. We respect you, sir. We respect your age and dedication. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Last presentation is Dr. Shivapriya. Then we are going to wind up. Last presentation, Shivapriya. Shivapriya, are you there? Dr. Shivapriya, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm there. I'm there, sir.
Yes, please start now. Ma'am, we are supposed to complete by 5 o'clock. It is almost
Sure, sir.
5:30, ma'am.
I'll
Yeah.
try to complete it, sir.
Yes, 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 yes.
Sir, is my PPT visible?
Yes, visible, Dr. Shivapriya.
Yes, sir. So I'm Dr. Sivapriya from Loyola College, Chennai. So topic of my title is changing weather events and risk exposure among vulnerable groups in Chennai slums. So before going deep into my research work, I would like to mention that this is a piece of work of my thesis. Beginning with the title, the study examines the effects of climate change induced related events on slum dwellers with special focus on vulnerable groups. So for the study purpose, I've chosen Chennai, the capital of Tamil Nadu. So this is the focal area of the research. So we know that there's an escalating climate crisis. It's also mentioned in the United Nations. So this is a significant global risk. Also, it is noticed that certain climatic catastrophic is posing certain threats. So it's also impacting certain vulnerable groups. Especially if you take developing countries like India, there is a different geographical condition, and there's a high of population density. So specifically, if you look at my study is focusing on the urban slum, which is in Chennai city. So there is always a fluctuation of weather events taking place, and these weather events have a negative impact on the vulnerable groups. I've also mentioned the concept of vulnerability. So vulnerability is foreseen events. I've not mentioned about the risk, but I would like to say it already. Risk is something that's uncertain event, so that can damage the well-being. For example, risk of becoming an ill, risk of that drought will occur. So risk and vulnerability is a major threat to vulnerable groups. This is my review of literature. There is one by Ibn, which in his work on Laos, Nigeria, where he discussed that there is a disconnect of social relationship because of floods. And there's also one more literature on which is done by Stephen, which is on urban vulnerability in Afghanistan, where he says that the risk is not pertaining to a particular location, so it is spread across. Significance of the study. So you see, wealthier also are exposed to the risk, but looking at the magnitude, the poor in general are exposed to the risk. Within the poor vulnerable groups are more exposed to it. That's what my significance of the study states. Objectives of the study: to identify the vulnerability faced by the vulnerable groups in Chennai in slum households, to identify the specific risk faced by the vulnerable group, and to explore the major sources. Methodology, since the study is randomly selecting 200 respondents, in purposely selected 15 urban slums in Chennai city. There are almost 15 vulnerable groups that has been identified, but I've named few here: elderly, destitutes, homeless. There are also migrants and so and so. With pertaining to the objective, I'll go with the first objective: vulnerability faced by the vulnerable groups. So the study has found that that vulnerable groups covered in the study is that they're majorly affected because of the flood, and the consequent of flood being, posing a threat to the vulnerable groups in Chennai slum. The eviction and resettlement is also one of the problem that they have faced. So almost 85% of respondents have reported problems of garbage dumping, stagnation of drainage water, open defecation. So when the flood occurs, these people are living in a very low-lying area. So what happens is if these kind of this drainage water, so additionally, if the rainwater is being added, then there's a rise of water, so which is giving a sewage gas, so where they are exposed to it. Specific risk faced by the vulnerable group. So there are so many specific risks, but I would like to highlight two of the specific risks due to majorly caused because of floods and cyclone. We did Chennai also had Varda cyclone in the year 2015 or 16. I'm not sure. 2015, yeah, right. So two major risks was the property loss. So property loss like collapse of living room, partial roof damage. So almost 10.2 respondents have responded. And there was also livestock loss that is taken into consideration of business loss. So livestock loss like hens, they had hens and goats, and vending carts were damaged. So some of the percentage I've mentioned here. And also additionally, cyclone strong winds have also contributed to this major loss. sources of risk. Since these vulnerable groups are living in the low-lying area, there's a huge proximity that they are prone to the risk of flood, and almost 43% are found to be living in low-lying areas, and 28.9% of the respondents have revealed that there's no proper infrastructure. There's an inadequacy of infrastructure. And some of them residing near the drainage area. So these were the main sources of the risk of flood. Conclusion, though there are so many measures taken up by governments and by United Nations, by World Health Organization, several organizations coming forward, but still certain monitoring evaluation should be done with respect to social protection, catastrophic risk reduction, and climate change adaptation. So these things have to be focused. I've given my reference. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for a beautiful presentation. Dear participants, we have completed with our technical session. Sincerely thankful to all the participants. As a chairperson, it is my duty and responsibility to spot some positive as well as negative aspect. Okay, so don't feel bad if that is the only thing I doesn't ask many questions, because uh, when I was a student, when I was a PhD scholar, when I was going for Madurai Kamaraj University, my guy told me, Bennett, if someone asks question, say, sir, this is my first time, next time I will do. So this is what I keep on telling in various colleges. One fine morning, I was supposed to present my paper in Pondicherry University. The chairperson was the same person in Madurai Kamaraj University. So now I can't say that this is my first time, right? And I have been roasted by him for 20 minutes in front of everyone. That day only made me how a professor should behave, how we are supposed to present a paper. Still, I never forgot what was that event in my lifetime in Pondicherry University. Still, I have certificate with me. I have thrown all the certificates. Apart from that, do I still have certificates? Because no, the theory which is highly criticized will be highly valid. This is what my concern mean. Many of your papers are really good, but as anyway, being the reviewer of Scopus Journal, being an editorial board, being the chief editor, and it is my duty and responsibility to enhance your research paper, right? It is not about fault finding. मेरा काम what was that fault finding नहीं है. It is about fact finding investigation, right? I was just I was you people are running. You people are running beautifully, and some people are running better than me. But the problem is where to run. Where to run and how to reach the goal is a biggest task. So anyway, sincerely thankful to all the participants who have done the presentation in UG level, PG level, PhD level, faculty level, right? We are very happy for that. And many papers, no? See, dear participants, always the study starts with the functional to structural to the functional aspect. Research starts with structural to functional aspect. So without structure, there is no function, first of all. Let me tell you best example. I'm telling, I know one lady, her name is Debabola Devi. Okay. So how you'll understand who is Debabola Devi? By seeing a structure, right? Okay, this after that only you will come to know, okay, Debabola Devi is a woman, right? Okay, and then you will come to know from there, you will come to know Debabola Devi is good or bad. What if she is good, how she is good, if she is bad, why she is bad. So in various aspects, we will be started doing the research. While doing research, we have to add some theoretical perspectives. Without theory, our research won't be a complete one. Okay, any research, either it will be a physics or chemistry or sociology or economics or management, whatever could be, what domain you may be, without theoretical perspectives, we can't have a research. Number one. Number two, I see that many people fail to give what was a justification, methodological part in the sense it is about justification. I have taken Shivpriya ma'am for my reference purpose. That means in this above this 12 group, I have taken only Shivpriya ma'am. Then I have to do a justification for what purpose I have taken Shivpriya ma'am. If I have taken Abhilash Bajpai ma'am, then I have to justify for what purpose I have taken Abhilash ma'am for my study purpose. justification part is missing. Everybody told very well, I have taken this study, I have taken this, I have taken that, I have taken purposive sampling, convenience sampling. Everything is good, but the justification part is missing. And one more thing is missing, that is called as vital statistics. Dear students, dear faculty members, my dear loving PhD scholars, kindly give importance for vital statistics. Sir, vital statistics किधर से मिला? It is available in the current scenarios. So please write it down. Vital statistics give groom your research paper, because if you want to publish your paper in the global database, they have their own standards. And if you are not able to follow their standards, we are not able to publish our paper. We won't be publish our paper in the global database. Please be aware of that, right? It's fine. Another thing about the presentation, everybody done well. Remember one thing, dear students, my dear faculty members, my dear loving budding scholars, right? PPT is only for the listeners. It is not for you. PPT is only for the listeners, to the audience, to the crowd. You are supposed to take class, and we are supposed to, if you are not able to pick your words, we will be following your PPT presentation. That is what called as PPT means. Looking to the PPT and reading is not a presentation. In the upcoming days, requesting you all people to practice in such a way that you are able to take the class, speak for 5 minutes or 4 minutes without looking to the PPT. PPT is only for the glance purpose, beta. Don't forget that, okay? Because anybody can speak. If my daughter is just 3 years old and she is doing a schooling in international school, auxiliary international school in Mumbai, now itself she has to present go for a presentation with PowerPoint presentation. The third study itself started doing. There they have advised that very strictly, don't look at the PPT and speak. We the scholars, we have grown up children, and now we have to go take the research to another level. That is the concern. I never ever look at my PPT when I used to take class, when I used to go as a resource person, when I used to go for other countries to take my research methodology class. I'm in this research methodology field for 7.5 years, and we have organized 15 international events. Okay, so develop that. And another important thing is, no, few people forget to add your references part in your PPTs. References must. You have to add your references part. And a few people, literature review, no, literature review, please write it down. That also, literature review is the heart of thesis. It is the heart of thesis. If you ask me as a reviewer of Scopus Journal, I want to look at your introduction, because I know you know better than me. Directly I will jump to literature review. It means the reviewer come to know how long you have given importance for your study. How come I will come to know? By your literature review. So give maximum to maximum importance for your literature review to beautify your research paper. Okay, and findings and suggestions. Dear faculty members, my dear loving kids, students, and scholars, findings and suggestions both has to go in a ratio called 1:1 ratio. If there are 5 findings, suggestions should be only 5. If there are 10 findings, should be only 10. So don't violate the rules and norms. Okay. And regarding the references, should be in the alphabetical order. I found some of the references were not in the order. Fine. I am not here to pinpoint your problem, but my concern is the theory which is highly criticized will be highly valid. I want you all people to come with a valid research paper in the upcoming days. And sincerely, I have to thank the management of IIDM, Institute of Disaster Management, and Department of Home Science, Standard College Manipur, and Global Studies Pondicherry, and Center for Disaster Management Chennai, and all the authorities who have played a pivotal role behind this event to make us a grand event. And with this few note, let me say by concluding my speech by saying thank you. Regarding your certificates, we will be dispatching your certificates tomorrow morning, and it will reach you maximum by this week. Maximum to maximum will reach by you because we are sending through speed post. So it will be reaching you it will be reaching you maximum by Friday. If not, please let us know. The technical team will check your credentials and they will revert you back. This is also for your information. The people who are paid for the application fee, they will be we will be sending the book for them. For that also will take time. Book we are not dispatching now. We are now dispatching only the certificates. After that, once the certificate dispatching is done, we will go for book dispatching. With this few note, let me say thank you, and God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Thank you and good evening. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.